My Hero Academia 268 just came out today, and I honestly have to say it was another great chapter, but not too much like insane stuff happened. While a lot did happen in this chapter, it was mostly just action throughout. So let's just get started with what happened in this chapter. And this is going to be a pretty quick review video. So first of all, we start off with where we were last video. Essentially, we get a cutback of Endeavor finding the pathway of the Nomus managing to get into the hospital. But as he enters that passageway, he sees Crust is still holding off one of the high ends, since its regeneration is giving him a lot of trouble. So in that case, an Eraserhead shows up, nullifies the quirks of the Nomu, allowing Endeavor and Crust to actually push it into the lab. When they enter the lab, they see the rest of the Nomu there. And this is right after Mirko dodges all of them to try and head towards the doctor. So everyone does their best, along with the other heroes that are there, to try and take down all the high ends. We do see Endeavor take down one of them, and then we see him having to try and go and take down the high end that is going after Mirko. Now, as this is going on, we do get into the mental states of one of the high ends, which is going through a lot of complex thoughts. It realizes that its powers were erased, and that it was Eraserhead that was doing it. That high end was going through the possibilities of what the other guy's quirks were, so that way it can end up coming up with a way to get its powers back. It was starting to think how Eraser blocked off its quirk, and then it ended up coming to the realization that it was Eraser's eyes. By looking at it, Eraser can erase anybody's quirk, as we all know. So it's doing a bunch of different movements to try and avoid all of the heroes, and doing it in a way so it could get into Aizawa's blind spot, so that it could end up unleashing its power to its fullest. So once that high end gets the chance, it does in fact use something called liquefaction plus the rupture quirk. So I think it takes the water particles in the air, turns them into water balls, and launches them out across the area, and ends up exploding on contact, I think, from what I can tell, or just using it as like a water bullets to hit everyone. And as this is going on, Mirko is in the back portion of the lab, going to try and take down Shigaraki. Endeavor's heading in that direction because they realized that a high end was going in the back, and that's where Mirko was. So he ends up going back there, deals with one of the Nomu, and starts to go in to help Mirko. So as this is going on, we do get a glimpse of the doctor panicking, and a glimpse of the percentage that Shigaraki is at, 74% complete for his treatment. So Mirko goes to land a devastating lunar arc to crack the tube that Shigaraki is in, and she does succeed. And as that goes on, the computer ends up sparking up and breaking. But before she lands that kick, we see a sinister smile from Shigaraki, as if he's aware of what's going on. You know, we don't see his eyes, but he has this smirk on his face, which is reminiscent of All for One smirk. So you can tell that Shigaraki is basically, you know, mentally prepared for all of this, and he's in that mental state at this moment to do whatever he has to, and that he knows he's strong enough to deal with everyone with no real repercussions to himself, essentially, from what I can get from that smirk. Either that or just super confident in his abilities. Because right as Mirko is about to hit him, she does say that her rabbit instincts say that this guy is trouble, and she has to make sure he never wakes up or completes whatever it is he's doing. The doctor tries to get her to stop, but she does in fact break the tube. And in that instance, the high end that pierced her leg and her arm throws her up in the back, and Endeavor catches her. But as Endeavor catches Mirko and asks what the hell happened and if she's okay, she says that he has to go back there and stop them because Shigaraki's still there, and he's still oh man, he's still there. He's still a threat. He's still a problem. So, and as Mirko's saying this, for all we know, the rest of the heroes manage to subdue the other high end, or they're almost done with that, because we then cut to President Mike and Eraserhead standing up saying that the old geezer is back there. We have to stop them, and we get like a nice flashback to Shirakumo as Kurogiri. And that's how the chapter ends. Overall, this was another great chapter for this war arc, and I am glad that we cut back to the hospital raid arc. We had a good amount of chapters. We had roughly a bit more chapters at the mansion portion of this arc than we did with the hospital originally, and then we cut back to here at the end of that portion of the arc. So what is going to happen next is anybody's guess. For all we know, Shigaraki, he knows that he is ready to handle it. For all we know, the computer was wrong, or it was just being cautious in the fact that it wanted Shigaraki to fully assimilate the powers that his surgery implanted into him. Either that, or was just to keep him stable until the power settled. But from that smirk we got from Shigaraki, it's very possible that he wasn't unconscious and that he was aware of everything that was going on. And he was welcoming the chance from Mirko to break his containment cylinder so that he can enter the fight. There's still a lot of questions to be answered. For all we know, he just went in there smiling and he hasn't stopped smiling. But that's something that we still don't know yet. From what I can tell, we're going to be flipping back and forth as always between each portion of this arc from the mansion to the hospital. So we're probably going to get a few more chapters here at the hospital again to see what happens with Shigaraki, Endeavor, and the rest of the high-ends, and then flip back over to the mansion to see what happens with the rest of the Liberation Army and Dabi, Hawks, and Todoroki. Not Todoroki, Tokoyami. And maybe they get the real reveal of Dabi's actual name instead of just a blacked out speech bubble, which furthers to tease every one of the fans. But yeah, honestly, that was another great chapter, insanely action-packed chapter, which I am really happy about. And also, the one thing I do kind of regret is that Shonen Jump is going through a lot of stuff right now, so next week there aren't going to be any new chapters for any of their series at the moment, and I think it's gonna be like a double issue for the following week, so it's possible we're gonna get 2 chapters in one day, from what I can tell. Then there's gonna be another break, and then we get one more chapter the week after that. So next review is definitely gonna be a double feature, like I did with previous reviews. But the one thing I do have to say is that this war arc is starting to get even better and better, and Mirko is insanely very badly hurt, lost an arm, punctured holes through her leg and her arm, and I think her side was also cut up pretty badly. So for all we know, she's out of commission at this point. She can't fight anymore, which means we have to leave the rest of the hospital raid to Endeavor, President Mike, Crust, and Eraserhead. While at the mansion, we have to hope for the kids and the rest of the pro heroes over there to deal with the Liberation Army. And we still have the fight with Dabi to conclude. And there's also the possibility of Gigantomachia showing up in either one of those areas. Either powering his way through the mansion to try and make it to Shigaraki, or for the very small thing, it could be that he's going to free All for One from Tartarus prison, since, most of the heroes are at this raid, and Tartarus' security has been lax at the moment. So it's possible that All for One had a quirk that couldn't be detected, but was able to hijack radio waves to pick up on the Gigantomachia, or for all we know, the Doctor sent out a signal to the Gigantomachia to come and help them. So for all we know, Gigantomachia is still going to play a major role in this arc at some point. But right now, we still don't have a lot to go on. But yeah, I enjoyed this chapter a lot. Great action, nice setup for what's going to happen, and we do get to see a full-on smirk from Shigaraki and the possibility that he is ready to fight right here, right now. But what did you guys think? Was this a good chapter? Did you guys enjoy what happened? Do you think that Shigaraki is actually ready to fight, even though it was at 75% by the time Mirko destroyed the equipment? And also, how long do you think this portion of this arc is going to take? Like, how many more chapters do you think we're going to be at the hospital before we swap back to the mansion? Or if each chapter is going to just be half and half after a certain point? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. And yeah, since there is gonna be a break for the manga chapters next week, I'll probably see what I can do for another video to try and do the weekly schedule thing. But other than that, hope you guys have an awesome day.